Good morning to everybody, and welcome to Argyle International Airport. I want to welcome our special guests, especially from Virgin Atlantic. The announcement today has been one that has been in the making for quite a long time. I know since we constructed Argyle International Airport, especially within the diaspora, it's always been, well, when are we getting the direct flights? How soon will it be? And the United Kingdom plays a special part in this because I think Sir Louis and Camilo and Minister Mackey will agree that in the construction of Argyle International Airport, from the diaspora point of view, that the diaspora in the UK were arguably the most active in raising funds for us to assist in us completing this airport. And so it is indeed a happy day. We've been speaking about this for years. Remember visiting Virgin Atlantic's headquarters in the UK quite a few times. And so we're very, very excited about this morning. So Deputy Prime Minister Sir Louis Straker, Minister of Finance, Honorable Camilo Gonsalves, Minister of Tourism, and this is a very good going-away present for the Minister of Tourism, Honorable Cess Mackey, and for Sir Louis, but I'm sure they will keep active in the affairs of the country even after we win on Thursday. My good friends from Virgin Atlantic, thank you so much for coming in today. It's a quick visit. And I hope later on, when things cool down, you get to come back and for you to experience a lot more of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm not going to say much about what will take place when the flights will start from. I think the other speakers can do that. But just to say, as I said before, Natasha? Just give me a program there, please. That this is not only about the diaspora of what I spoke about, it's also about visitors, and it's also about the connections out of Europe. As many of you know, our biggest niche market is that of sailing. Our four main niche markets are sailing and yachting, diving, romance, which includes weddings and honeymoons, and adventure, which includes eco-tourism. But this is also about those connections coming out of especially Italy and France, where sailing is big, and also diving. And as many of you know, divers love to travel with their own equipment. So having direct flights is definitely something that we are looking forward to. So on that note, let me welcome probably his final address as Minister of Tourism, but he has been an exceptional Minister of Tourism. I have enjoyed working with him, and he will definitely be missed. But, back in the day, he used to be one of our national athletes. And then I came along and I was a national athlete. And I remember one time he tried to test me on the track. That didn't work out too well for me. But let me welcome the Minister of Tourism to give some remarks on this momentous occasion.
Thank you very much, Glenn. Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Sir Louis Straker, Minister of Finance, Camilo Gonsalves, specially invited guests, and of course our very special friends from Virgin Atlantic Airways, other members of staff of the Tourism Authority, Ministry of Tourism, Sports and Culture, staff of the Argyle International Airport, and of course, members of the media. Let me also take the opportunity to welcome Ricky and his counterpart from Virgin Atlantic, and to celebrate with you this morning this very momentous occasion where you're here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to arrive at an agreement with the country for us to form a very special relationship and partnership. I don't know if you realize and understand how very special this is to us, because not only of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines who live here, but persons in the Vincentian diaspora in the UK and other persons who wish to visit the destination, they have also been very anxious to have direct flights to destinations in Vincent and the Grenadines. If you have not already concluded, and from your feedback in our brief discussion, you have come to the Caribbean that you're looking for. There's no other destination in the region that is more Caribbean than St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And you have already hinted that you have fallen in love with the country, because there also is no better approach for landing to an airport that is better than the Argyle International Airport. You've indicated that you want to come again, and I'm sure that we'll have many, many more opportunities to welcome you to our shores, and eventually to have you owning a part of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and coming as often as you want, and to stay as long as you want. You're also here at a time of crisis worldwide, a time of challenge, and I'm sure that you would have been researching the progress and operation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But if you have not already concluded, we want to say to you and to say to the world that this is a very safe destination. In fact, we have been recognized regionally and internationally as one of the countries that has managed the COVID situation extremely well. We have never closed our borders, neither by air or by sea. And this has been very important. In fact, that has caused us to keep the economy ticking over. In fact, St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the region, we are also recognized as having performed the best in terms of least impact of COVID on the economies of these regions. One of the very important things we have done also is to obtain the buy-in from the general population, and this is also very important, so that later on when you commence your flights, you can be assured that the destination is safe, that we're looking after the welfare of the residents of the country and also visitors to the destination. We also ensure that the health protocols that we have put in place are strictly adhered to, and that we revise them ever so often. And therefore, we can assure, again, visitors to the destination and locals that that is being managed in an appropriate way. We have done significant investment in the Argyle International Airport, and we are already seeing positive results and benefits. In fact, 3 years later, we have flights, direct flights, international flights coming out of Toronto. We have direct international flights coming out of New York, and we have direct international flights coming out of Miami. But the cry has always been, what about the UK? Because while we have a large diaspora in each of those 3 cities, we also have a very large diaspora in the UK. And as Glenn indicated, not only are the diaspora anxious to be traveling, but also connecting flights from other European destinations. So you're coming at an excellent time, and I dare say that the partnership that we are about to establish will be sustainable, because the demand is there, and as a destination, we have been shaping ourselves up, readying ourselves to welcome you to the destination, developing the various packages so that we can join with you in marketing the destination, which is also going to be very important, because we want you to fill your seats. And of course, you're anxious for us to be able to fill the rooms in terms of our hotel stock. And talking about hotel stock, we are in the process of developing very rapidly the capacity as far as hotel rooms are concerned. And over the next 3 years, we are going to be adding close to 2,000 rooms, in addition to name brand hotels that are coming in, but also local hotels that are expanding. I want to say to you also that over that 3-year period since the opening of the Argyle International Airport, for the last 2 years, 2017, 18, 19, that period, we have been able to increase our arrivals by air by 5%, and 18, 19, and a further 10% increase arrivals. Of course, COVID, that has put paid to all of those increases, but we are sure that once we get past this trying period, once you begin marketing your flights to destinations in Vincent and the Grenadines, and once we continue to manage well and have the protocols in place, that those numbers will begin to grow again 2020 into 2021 and beyond. Now, you coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as I indicated, is very special. And as a tourism destination, we have been focusing on growing our numbers, and you are going to give us that excellent opportunity to further expand the tourism sector. We are an emerging, very competitive destination in the region, and I'm sure that your presence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines would allow us to grow that even more. As I understand it, you're looking initially in June 2021 to start those flights, so that will give you some time to do your marketing. You'd have 2 flights per week because persons would have to do appropriate scheduling. 1 flight a week might create some challenges in terms of getting in and getting out. Persons from the UK and the European countries, they come for 14 days or thereabout, and therefore they would need to be comforted with the fact that the schedule of Virgin Atlantic would be able to facilitate and accommodate them coming and going out easily. You're here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're about to establish a partnership. I want to thank you for coming. I want to say to you that this destination would allow you to shine even brighter. And your coming here would allow us all to lift SVG, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, even higher. 32 islands and cays, we await you, and we await to welcome you to the destination. Thank you for coming, and we're looking forward to your service.
Thank you very much, Minister. Definitely exciting news. I also forgot to recognize the chairwoman of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Tourism Authority and the head of Argyle International Airport, who are also here with us. Sorry, some mistakes on the agenda for today on the program, but now let me welcome the Executive Vice President for Virgin of Commercial Activities, and I'm not going to try and pronounce your name because I think I'm going to get it wrong, and I hate nothing more than getting somebody's name wrong. But you tell us everything when you get up here, so please welcome him to the podium to give some remarks.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Tourism and Finance. My name is Juha Järvinen. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer at Virgin Atlantic, together with my colleague, Ricky Christensen. We are honored to be here and formally announce that Virgin Atlantic is launching flights from London Heathrow into St. Vincent in June 2021. 2 flights a week with our Airbus 330 aircraft with amazing product in upper class. Virgin Atlantic was established 36 years ago by Sir Richard Branson, who's of course a very well-known entrepreneur who lives very close by, of course, in Necker Island. And so Caribbean has always been a crucial part of Virgin Atlantic history, and we're always looking for new destinations, new opportunities. And when our teams looked into and discussed the opportunities with the team here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's just an amazing opportunity, and we believe it's a perfect timing after we emerge out of the crisis. Hopefully by June 21, there is a huge pent-up demand of Europeans, people from UK, wanting to travel to these beautiful islands, and also, of course, the diaspora that we discussed already, flying directly from London Heathrow to St. Vincent. Our upper class product, which is the signature product that we will have 31 seats in our upper class. We have upper class wing at London Heathrow, our amazing clubhouse. It is the premium product out of London, and considering the target groups that you have here for tourism, it is a perfect match. We strongly believe that combining Virgin Atlantic and St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the perfect match, and it's also the right time. So we're extremely excited to connect London and St. Vincent now, and also there's even opportunities within cargo. We're able to carry a lot of cargo on our big planes. We should also explore opportunities more to make sure that we have smooth transport of logistics and supply chain. So we're very keen to explore those opportunities further. And of course, Virgin Atlantic people we are famous for the hospitality that we offer, and that has always been very close to Sir Richard Branson's heart. And that legacy has continued after all these years. And even with the masks, you can smile with your eyes, and that's something that we have focused very much with our crew. You can smile even with the mask on, and hopefully we still don't have to even wear them. I do need to also give you a huge credit how the whole region has dealt with the COVID crisis and the very rigid procedures that we implemented, because it is crucial to make sure that the tourism flows continue even during these difficult times. That is the best way to manage this transition, and hopefully very soon we are in a situation where we can travel more normally again. But Virgin Atlantic is committed to the region. We are extremely excited to fly to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And it's just only a few months away, June 21. We're here twice a week with our beautiful Virgin Atlantic aircraft. I can already see it landing on this beautiful runway. So we have a few months to build the relationships, build the connections with our key agents, travel trade in the UK. The industry is excited, Virgin Atlantic is excited to be here, and looking forward to land in June 2021. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you notice, we're really following these protocols with the mask on and off, and it's not easy, but it's something that it's necessary. On that, I want to welcome to the podium a good friend of mine and also my representative in East St. George. Has done a tremendous job since taking over as the Minister of Finance, and is very much responsible for some of the hotel investments that we see taking place here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Please welcome to the podium the Honorable Camilo Gonzalez.
Thank you very much, Glenn. Representatives of Virgin Atlantic, welcome to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Sir Louis, our Deputy Prime Minister, Seth, our Minister of Tourism. This is a wonderful day, and I feel like any words that I say will dilute the impact of the statement that was just made. The Virgin Atlantic is coming from Heathrow to the Argyle International Airport starting in June, twice a week. That in and of itself is wonderful news. And we're really happy to have you here. It's been a tremendous amount of work by the Minister of Tourism, by Glenn, and by Virgin Atlantic officials in getting us to the point of this deal. I also want to recognize my good friend and colleague Minister Sabotu Caesar, who ran into Sir Richard on Necker Island a couple of years ago and probably made himself a bit of a pest, texting Sir Richard very often to keep the issue of this destination in Sir Richard's mind, and the incredible work that's been done by everyone in that regard. The airport that we're standing in is new. It's just a couple of years old, and when it was being built, questions were asked about, well, where are the flights coming from? Where are the people coming from? Where are the tourists coming from? Where are the hotel rooms? Is this the right time? Is this the right sequence of events? And the Prime Minister said, look, when we build it, they will come. And the airport was built, and quite naturally, the first international flights were coming from nearby. They were from North America. The flights and the economics of a flight from New York or Miami, quite different from the economics of a transatlantic flight. They're smaller planes. You could start with smaller aircraft. You could rely extensively on diaspora travel in the early days. And so we began there. But then we had to improve our room stock to satisfy some of our transatlantic suitors. Well, we were the suitors, actually. And after the airport opened, and after we began to get those international flights, we quickly turned our attention to improving the room stock in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And now we're happy to say that underway, signed and sealed and being delivered are over 2,000 rooms. We have a Marriott resort which begins construction shortly. We have Royal Mill, we have Black Sands, we have Holiday Inn, and of course we just had a very recent announcement that Beaches will be building a 350-room resort here on St. Vincent. In the Grenadines, in addition to the Mandarin Oriental and the Sandy Lane facility, we have Soho House coming on stream, and other resorts that are whose announcements are imminent. So there's a massive and exponential increase in room stock in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which means a lot for employment in the country, but it also means that it gives some level of comfort to major carriers like Virgin, that there will be enough rooms to take comfortably all of those passengers traveling in the highest standards of comfort and style to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have, of course, in addition to the diaspora, where we do have a very strong diaspora presence, not only in the United Kingdom, but a number of retirees here who have family back home, who want to travel back and forth, who have returned home and made their home here. We also have islands in the Grenadines like Mustique that are predominantly, the homes there are predominantly owned by citizens of the United Kingdom, and who have had to take a very circuitous route to get to St. Vincent and the Grenadines traditionally, and we think that they also will welcome this announcement today. So there's some inbuilt demand, and we think, as Minister Mackey said, that we have a very special destination here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I know that you'll be collaborating on marketing with the Ministry of Tourism, and I know that the marketing program for St. Vincent and the Grenadines will not be a sort of off-the-rack marketing arrangement. You're going to have to accommodate yourself to a very, very diverse destination with a lot of unique attractions, from the mountains to the volcanoes, to the black sand beaches, to the white sand beaches, to the coral reefs, to the sailing, to the diving. It's an incredible destination, and we think that your customers will be excited by it, and we look forward to having them. This is also coming at this particular time in the midst of the COVID pandemic, in the midst of news in the United Kingdom that restrictions may be tightening again. It's an incredible vote of confidence, not only in the future of tourism and hospitality in the region, but a vote of confidence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we appreciate you coming today to say, first of all, that we believe there is pent-up demand and that tourism will bounce back in the region, and that you see St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a destination on the rise, that you can be a part of this growth here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tourism is a very important part of our economic mix. It's a very important part of our plans for the transformation of the economy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The economy essentially resting on four pillars: services, agriculture, tourism, and various other areas like construction. Now, in the midst of this pandemic, tourism obviously is at low ebb, but we have to plan for its increase, and we have to plan that when it returns, it has to return bigger, better, and stronger than before. A huge part of that, very, very huge part of that, will be those lovely Virgin Airbuses landing here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, filled with passengers and also filled with cargo. We believe that there's a market for products on your end, and we believe that we have products here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that will benefit from direct air access to the London market. So we think that, and if the Honourable Minister of Agriculture was here, he could wax poetic about all of the things that we can sell to the UK now that we have that connection and we don't have to rely on sea freight. From a tourism perspective, even with the rebound that is expected post-pandemic, people will naturally be cautious about traveling through multiple airports and getting on and off multiple planes to get to their destination. And I have no doubt that it's far more attractive, both from a convenience perspective and from a health and safety perspective, to tell a prospective visitor in the United Kingdom that it's a straight shot and that you're not going to have to stop at 3 or 4 different airports to get to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We think that this can only enhance our economic prospects. It can only increase the number of visitors that we have coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it can only help to lift St. Vincent and the Grenadines higher. So I am thrilled today to be a part of this. I congratulate again everyone who's been involved in these lengthy processes. I'm absolutely over the moon that we can finally announce a deal. There are many times that we've had to bite our tongue when we were this close and we wanted to say something, but we know that it's important that we keep these negotiations confidential until they're completed. Everyone has worked very hard. June, as you said, is just a few months away, and hopefully we'll be emerging from the pandemic and welcoming Virgin Atlantic to St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the same time, with planes full of people and cargo traveling between our countries, bringing our countries closer together, improving our respective bottom lines, and enhancing the product and the destination that is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you very much for coming today, and we look forward to this partnership growing from strength to strength. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister Gonsalves. The pandemic has played a big role. I shouldn't say a big role, but it has definitely curved the way we do business this year. St. Vincent and the Grenadines this year was on the cusp of setting record numbers in terms of tourism. Unfortunately, as we all know, the pandemic took place. But even with that taking place, one can see that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has managed to keep its head above water, especially, unfortunately, compared to some of our other Caribbean neighbors and cousins. And all of that is because of the diversity of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That is not only dependent on tourism, but as Minister said, on agriculture, on construction, and these sort of things. One of the things, I was part of the IADC board that helped construct Argyle International. And one of the things that has crossed my mind since this pandemic started is that where would we be right now without Argyle International Airport? Minister Mackey made it clear that we were the only Caribbean country that did not shut our borders. I think our Ministry of Health, and excuse my biasness, did a tremendous job in terms of our protocols. I think right now Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines probably have the strictest protocols and the most efficient protocols. And because we didn't close our borders, and because of that sort of leadership, we were still able to see numbers coming in from the yachties. And even with the pandemic taking place, the numbers on other international airlines, they've been able to keep some steady numbers so far. So we are grateful for that. One of the men that had the vision and of AIA and has been a part of the government for so many years, and has done a tremendous job. We will miss him as our Deputy Prime Minister, but knowing Sir Louis, it is not the last we will hear from him. So let me welcome our Deputy Prime Minister, Sir Louis Straker, to the podium.
Thank you, Glenn, Chief Executive Officer of the Tourism Authority, my colleagues in Cabinet, Minister of Finance, Camilo Gonzalez and Mrs. Gonzalez, Cess McKee, Minister of Tourism, our honored guests from Virgin Atlantic, Director of Airport Authorities, members of the media. I think this is a special day, and we are standing on holy ground because any time a virgin approaches a saint, we can only have a good product. And that is what we have today. We have been waiting a long time to have Virgin Atlantic visit us here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As a matter of fact, you a little earlier visited the 2 VIP lounges that we have. And I want to assure you that this is not a conference center. This is supposed to be a commercial VIP lounge, and we've been reserving it for you so that when you have started your operations here, you can apply for the whole area here or part of it as your own private VIP lounge. We have been working hard to develop this little island, this little paradise, this gem of the Antilles. And it was like the chicken and the egg. When we asked the major airlines to come in, they said, well, you don't have the hotel space to put any visitor or enough of the hotel space, so it would be difficult to come. And when we asked visitors to come, they would say, well, you don't have the transportation to bring us here. But now that we have an international airport, we are building fast and furious hotels and resorts. We are very happy to know that Virgin Atlantic has expressed an interest to be here and will be here comes June 2021. It would mean a lot for us because we know on your brochures you would be putting St. Vincent and the Grenadines as one of your destination points. And people would be inquiring as to what exotic spot on earth could this be. We have always said this is the one place where you can go to paradise without dying. So we want you to bring them here so that they can enjoy paradise while they are alive. We have been able to welcome, with our limited facilities here, members of the royal family, high officials, the government of the United Kingdom, visitors from the United Kingdom, and of course, our own diaspora. Many of our people, you've heard of the Windrush generation who went up to England, the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. Who are dying to come back home, many of them with infirmities of one kind or the other, and would find it a great inconvenience to be island hopping, and would find it very convenient just to fly directly home and enjoy their native country. You would facilitate them and make this possible. I want you to know, I want our guests to know, that it would be hard for you to imagine what this area here was like prior to the building of this airport. We have not had an international airport prior to now because of the topography of the country. We are a very hilly, mountainous area, and the hills come right on to the shore. And in order to get this airport ready for you, we had to cut down 4 mountains, blast them down, fill in 3-4 valleys, channel a river and a stream, move a church and a cemetery. When Hugo Chavez came here and he saw the amount of work that needed to be done, because he was one of our benefactors, he asked, for God's sake, this is a lot of work, a lot of earth movement. Couldn't you all find someplace else? We say, we have no place else. Where you were looking way down there, it was the sea. And we have taken all the stuff that we had, the earth work that we have removed from cutting down the 4 mountains and filling the sea, back it further and further off. And we have here a wonderful airport. You have said that you have not had the time to visit St. Vincent before. But one of our earlier poets have penned the words in describing St. Vincent as lovely isle with verdure clad, a tropic isle to make hearts glad, scenic view, a charm to add, St. Vincent. It's a song that we sang when we were in primary school, extolling the virtues and the great scenery we have here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are sure that there are many people who would rejoice that this day has come. And since you are the first airline from the United Kingdom, we have to treat you differently, especially when you have your first child. You go overboard in spending lavishly in order to make sure we make ample provision. I've gone through that for the first child. Unfortunately, the second one and the third one usually get hand-me-down, because you put up all the old clothing and the crib and so on until the second one comes. But we want to give you all the best, as you're the first one to come here and to be with us. You have lighted up our spirits. You have made us very happy. And I'm glad I'm here instead of the Prime Minister, because he would have been so very happy that he would have probably taken an hour in speaking about how happy he is and extolling the virtues of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the joy in having Virgin Atlantic coming here at long last. We look forward to a lasting, a strong, and a prosperous relationship with Virgin Atlantic. Our farmers would be happy. All of our people would be happy. For we would be sharing with them our culture, our produce. We'd be sharing with them our hospitality that we have here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we trust that everything would go well and that we would continue to develop this strong and loving relationship, caring relationship. You just bring them in. We are building the hotels to take care of them and take care of you when you want to get away from the drudgery of your work. Come. Not only on mainland St. Vincent, but you would find the Grenadine Islands so enchanting that if you have sons and daughters and they want to spend honeymoon, they would find this is the place to spend their honeymoon. When you have friends and relatives who want to get away, and you yourself put down your pen and your paper from your desk and you just want to relax, St. Vincent would be the place for you. We are a small country, and as I told you earlier, but we are a progressive country. The smallest country that has ever been elected to sit in a council with the largest, most powerful countries in the world on the Security Council. We take great pride in that. You would make us even proud to know that we have Virgin Atlantic coming here, that we have direct access so we don't have to languish in the airports of any other country, but you can take us to the United Kingdom and bring us back here in good time, in safety, and in good riding on a Virgin Atlantic airline. So once again, we thank you for coming. We thank Glen Beach. We thank the Minister of Tourism, the Minister of Finance, all those, Corsell, the Director of the Airport, all those who have made this day possible. This is a new beginning for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We would savor every moment of it. We welcome you, and we trust that this would be a very good, lasting, and strong, loving relationship so that you can sell St. Vincent around the world and make us even more prosperous. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sir Louis. I think I might have to bring you into the marketing team of the Tourism Authority. I didn't see the Virgin and Saint one coming at all, but thank you so very much. Before we take questions from the media, I just want to wish Ricky a very happy birthday. Thought you could keep it from us, and she's spending it, some of it in St. Vincent and the Grenadines with us, so a very happy birthday. And you know, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has the strongest white rum in the world. The problem with it, some of the airlines won't allow it on, so I'm hoping Virgin changes that. But we'll get you some other spirits as a special birthday gift from St. Vincent and the Grenadines here. So on that note, any members of the media, any questions to ask, or have we been so complete in all that we have done this morning that it's just a matter of enjoying ourselves and saying, welcome to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to Virgin Atlantic. Any questions? No. All right. So on that note, I'll just give my thank you. I want to thank, first of all, Ricky and Chris. Chris I've been speaking to recently of Virgin Atlantic, and Ricky I've been speaking to for years. And to bring this to fruition is extraordinary. I don't think I can add anything more to what our speakers have already said. I want to thank my board, the chairwoman and my board of directors, my team at the SVGTA. I'm sure the team at Virgin has been working behind the scenes also in terms of the contract and everything that we are doing. The government for the vision, my minister, Minister Mackey, Minister Gonsalves, Deputy Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister himself, who would have liked to have been here, but I think many of you know that he's about to give the address to the United Nations Security Council, so he could not make it today. And Vincentians all over the world. I think this has long been coming. I think sometimes, you know, when I first started the negotiations with the airlines, when we started the construction of this has been an eye-opener for me. The intricacies of the airline industry, it's truly, truly amazing. A lot of times we walk through airports and we never think about how they operate. We just see it as something, we walk through. But I have to say it has been a learning experience for me, and I've had tremendous support behind the scenes. My team in England, Barbara Mercury, I know they're going to be extra happy about this. And this announcement opens a whole new scope for St. Vincent and the Grenadines in terms of marketing. It gives us more leeway with tour operators. And as Minister Gonsalves said, you know, this project, AIA in particular, has allowed us to grow. It has allowed us to get the hotel rooms in place, allowed for investment. And not only about the visitors, and we haven't spoken about, but the The cargo is going to be important also, which I'm sure will be important to Virgin also in terms of getting produce of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and some of the things that we make, which we have not been able to do before. So it opens up so many different avenues for Vincentians and also for the British and to a certain extent other parts of Europe. So I want to thank you guys for coming in today. I know you're busy and I'm sorry you couldn't spend longer here, but we will see again soon. And thank everybody and the media for covering. We greatly appreciate it. And I hope everybody has an enjoyable day. Thank you.